I want to talk about this real quick. I meant to do it a while ago. I think it just slipped my mind, but you know, for the people who are new to me or haven't really been to my page or anything like that, or listen to just like my videos in full. Like I make some long videos because that's the type of shit I'm used to listening to. I'm used to listening to long ass videos, so it kind of rubbed off on me. But if you know about me, I'm versatile, so that means I could talk about anything, just about anything. I can talk about it if I have some type of knowledge on it or something like that, or I just have a basic opinion, then I can speak on it. So I know a lot of people are here because I speak on Tupac or whatever, but just for the main part, I'm going to be talking about a whole lot of different stuff. It's just like when it comes to me, when I come across it, it just depends on whether I want to speak about it or not. I know that I don't know how many sports fans who are out there who are also Tupac fans and shit like that, but that comes along when you a child or whatever. You get into sports and shit like that. So I was an athlete. Probably at the age of 8 or 9. I just started playing basketball. Once I learned, I didn't play it at first because I couldn't. I was still an adolescent, but once I learned, I just developed my left. My cousin, who was also my former coach, my first coach, pretty much. He was like, if you don't develop a left hand, you ain't gonna be shit. You know what I'm saying? And with my size, I'm a point guard size anyway. I'm the quick little motherfucker. But anyway, so that's why I choose to talk about basketball. It's not just because, I like the sport and I like the people who play the sport. It's like I actually have experience in, high school. That's as far as it goes. Not even like I think I went to college. I tried to do it and I was just like, nope, I can't do it no more because I took too much time off. When you take too much time off on something that you've been doing your whole life, just about, then your body kind of reject it, or you just never recover from it once you take a lot of time off, especially with a physical sport like that. So I never made it to varsity. One reason is because I was moving around, so I never got to establish a home high school. I went to 4 different high schools. I went to a high school in Orange County. I went to 3 high schools in Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? So I never got to establish anything. It was moving and it was the shit that was happening or whatever. But at the same time, I was still a force to be reckoned with. At my position and the competition that I had. It was just like on here. I was fearless on the court. So why the hell would I'm gonna start just bitching up on the internet or whatever, or try to act like I'm not trying to act like anybody. But when it comes to basketball, when it comes to playing the sport and mentally knowing everything and developing that mental skill when it comes on the court, because a lot of people think it's just physical. It's a lot of big dumbass stupid motherfuckers. And I was gonna start writing notes and everything, but I'm like, no, that video will be too damn long if I start writing this shit down. So I'm just like, fuck it, let me freestyle it. It's just like when I think of a big stupid ass nigga that play in the NBA that should have more titles than Shaquille O'Neal, is Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, I don't like that everybody has some type of childish part about them, because we were all children at one time. But this motherfucker is just too childish. She too childish. She too much of a big kid and shit like that. And it's like, nigga, you big as shit, you big and tall as shit for nothing, but you can't do nothing. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's the mental game. It's the mental part of it. Dwight Howard ain't got the mentality to pull off no championship. How do you be that fucking big as a center and can't go to a championship team? I mean, come on, like between him and Shaq, just imagine if Dwight Howard was just hitting the weights all the time and shit. Plus on top of that, putting up his crap, he probably would have been better than Shaq. A lot of people probably wouldn't have had one to admit it, but they'll never see it, because even if he does get one, it'll still take that long. It still took that long for you to get a championship. It don't make no fucking sense. That's why I said it's like I don't know what it is. Like the NBA is just boring now. It's just a bunch of kids or whatever, because when we're talking about LeBron James is a year older than me. He's either a year, maybe a year older than me. Yeah, I think he's a year older than me. I think he came out 03. It was either 02 or 03 when he came out. So he's either 1 or 2 years older than me. But as far as what I'm saying about the mentality, that grows on you. Physically, you have to be able to move around, and you got to develop a shot. You have to develop your fundamentals physically. But the whole mental part about it is very differently. Like, yeah, now, if I had known what I know now than when I was back in high school, I'd have went to the CIF. I definitely went to CIF or Moore League or all that shit. We started out as a local team, and then we started to travel. Even though it's Little League, it's still like you still playing with 14, 15, 16-year-olds and shit like that. I think I was like 14. So like this is why I'm so passionate about it, because like I can even coach. I can coach about it now. I can be a coach for an NBA team. It's just that simple. I can just come in and coach a team. And I learned from a family member who's a coach, and then me being a coach, and I developed my own style and everything. I could probably even beat him mentally in basketball if he had a squad and I had a squad. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know where his head is right now. But the main topic, me talking about is basically, LeBron James going to the Los Angeles Lakers. And off top, I've never been an LA fan. Like I said, I was always a Bulls fan. Like I still am a Bulls fan, but ain't nothing going on there. But I don't hop on teams and stuff like that just because everybody else did. Like after the Bulls was out, then I had another team, just one more that's a default team, and that was the Sixers. So it's the Sixers and it's the Bulls. So it came from Jordan to Iverson, and those was my dudes. I was never an LA fan. I couldn't stand Kobe. I couldn't stand him because he wanted to. He wanted so much to be like Jordan and shit like that. But then, like I said, after a while, you start developing these senses, and then I started appreciating him. I started appreciating Kobe when he retired. By that time, like I wanted to see him win. I wanted to see him get 6. I really do. So he would have been tied. I really wanted to. But that was at the end though, when I got older too. Remember this motherfucker came in the league with 97, 96, 97? That fucking draft year was crazy. You look back at that motherfucker, like, and that's around the time Tupac died too, and like, shit, like I wasn't no adult, but I'm pretty sure like those part of the 90s was crazy. It was crazy. But anyway, I kind of threw me on track just thinking about that shit, like that draft that year. But like I said, I never liked Kobe like that. Then like at the end, I started rooting for him, but I still was not a Laker fan. I didn't like the Lakers. There was always individual players who were on the Lakers around that time that I liked, because you got to be a fan of individual players because they could get traded at any time. The thing to do back then, you seen can you imagine John Stockton in a fucking Kings jersey or a Nuggets jersey or something like that? Like hell no. But sometimes some people just got to move on. That Utah team, back in the 90s and shit like that. We can talk about all type of teams or whatever, but I'm just talking about that era that gave birth to this era. Because that era gave birth to this era, but it's just not the same anymore. It's not the same feeling. And that might be just for some people as a whole when it comes to, your age difference. Or maybe you might be around my age or older who feel like, hey, it's more exciting than it was back then. Like, I'd kind of be thinking you tripping or you just being sarcastic, but Nah, it's not like that. But I just wanted to speak on him going to the Lakers, and I guess that it really doesn't do anything for anybody, because it's like if you from California, then you're a Laker fan. See, a lot of people don't understand there's the Lakers and there's the Clippers. This is Southern California. There's Lakers and the Clippers in Southern California. And then there's Laker fans, die-hard Laker fans. They say fuck the Clippers even though they're there in the same city, same county. Fuck the Clippers or whatever. And it's like that for other parts of the territory and stuff. It's the same thing with the North, the North, Sacramento and Golden State, and shit like that or whatever. So but growing up around people who were Laker fans, it didn't matter who was there. They were just Laker fans or whatever. But it re-sparked, because after Kobe retired, I was like, damn, it's gonna take them forever to rebuild that motherfucker. It's just not happening. Not the Lakers, no. But when you talk about general management and all that other shit that we don't know about, that's where all that shit comes into play. That's where a lot of that stuff comes into play. So I'm thinking about, okay, LeBron going to the Lakers. Now he's going to be considered a Laker, and he's probably going to go down in history as being like a Laker, out of all the teams that he played with. Maybe Cleveland, people will vote that Cleveland was the best team he was with because he went to the championship with them but didn't lose, and everything. It didn't win. Some people might say Miami was the best team that he was on, and and he's getting older now. It's like I still hoop, but that level of intensity, like park games ain't shit, because half the niggas ain't even being serious anyway. There's just a chance for you to get your practice on, but like that level of intensity, it's rough on your body. And LeBron says like he plans on playing into his 40s, and which is true. We can do it. You just got to keep yourself healthy, but he goes there, and I'm like, okay, well, he's going to be in these conversations with Kobe now, no matter what. And Kobe is already attached to Jordan, so that's what it is. It's the Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, because don't nobody even talk about nobody else. It's a lot of sick motherfuckers. Especially like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is crazy and everything, but the reason why nobody really talks about Kevin Durant is because I feel like, that team that they had with the Thunder, they should at least had a championship with all three of them. It was James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant. Like the Oklahoma City Thunder, that was a team to be reckoned with, but they always lost because mentally it wasn't there. It was not there mentally. Even though you had all that talent on the squad, all that shit, it did not matter at the end of the day. And it was fucked up because those are a lot of the teams that should have won. It's a whole lot of teams that should have won. I just remember that year in Boston. All them dudes came together, and it was a mental thing. Like, everybody knew what they can do, but mentally you gotta have it. That's what's happening with Golden State right now. I could do a whole fucking thing on Steph Curry and shooting, and how the fuck, like, when you talk about mastering a technique, that's somebody that would have went viral. If he wasn't an NBA player, he'd have still been famous. So it's like him, Steph Curry being famous, that was going to be no doubt because first of all, his dad was an NBA player, and I don't want to get off topic about talking about Curry, but just the way that he broke down in his head about how to throw up a shot no matter from where he had on the court, and probably 80% of the time was going to go in. That is amazing. That shit is crazy. Never seen nothing like it. But there should be other dudes doing the same shit as well. But everybody is different when it comes to DNA and everything like that, and how people, their minds, the way they work and things like that, so I just think that hearing from Laker fans or diehard Laker fans or people who are from California, you know, that some of them not happy about it. You know, and not being happy about it, it's just like, what is this gonna do? And I have conversations with these people because these are the people I grew up with. You know how many times I done lost friends. I done lost friends, childhood friends, over something over the fucking Lakers. Niggas won't talk to you no more. That's how serious Laker fans are. They won't talk to you no more. It was fucked up. We get to talk about Jordan and whatchamacallit, and the only reason why fucking the Lakers won is because the Shaq was there, and they wouldn't have been able to do shit else if Shaq wasn't there. Then they had that one all-star team with everybody. Robert Horry, Rick Fox, Devin George, Derek Fisher, Brian Shaw, Ron Harper. Like, god damn. The Lakers started that shit. But it wasn't famous. They started that everybody going like to different places and stuff like that. And everybody got to remember, you was not finna beat that 2000 Laker team. It just wasn't happening. But then of course they got Tyronn Lue and everything like that. You know, that other year, and I mean the Iverson, that squad went up against them motherfuckers. It just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening unless something happened between Kobe and Shaq. And Kobe was gonna leave, but Shaq dipped off anyway and just proved that he could win with everybody else like he's supposed to do. He's a fucking center. He should be able to go to anywhere and dominate. But you know, at that time, you know, Shaq was just too big. You know, and money comes into play too. I guess when you're making all that money, you really don't give a fuck about, you know, your overall performance. You know, if you have some nights where you feel like playing, I could just imagine if I was making all that money, I'll still put on the show. I'm still entertaining and everything like that, you know, but it might be some nights I just want to just really show what I got or whatever. And then especially if our teams, you know, make it and advance here and everything, then yeah, you know, I'm gonna play lights out. But a lot of these motherfuckers getting all that damn money and shit and just start getting lazy and shit, you know. So it's like with LeBron, you got all those people around LeBron. I mean, to tell you the truth, like the Cavaliers should have lost this year. They should have lost to the statistically they should have lost to the Toronto Raptors. Now, like I said, I'm not a statistical person. All those numbers and shit like that, all that shit don't mean nothing to me unless it has something to do with some type of some fix or something like that. Like, but even like, you know, I pay attention to it very little because I know it's still an instrument that you have to use when you're talking about, you know, basketball and shit like that. You have to talk about the stats and the numbers and shit like that. But I really don't care too much about that shit. You know, I'm just looking at the consistency, which pretty much overrides and speaks over numbers and shit like that. So, you know, that's what I want to talk about most of the time. You know, but anyway, so you know, him being on the Lakers, it made me wonder, like, okay, so now what are they going to do to what are they going to build around him? Are they going to build through him? Are they going to build for him? Like, I mean, I guess with anything, like with the Lakers, you know, the Buss family, of course, and you know, Magic Johnson and all them, you know, all those old Lakers that are still alive and shit like that, they can pull some strings and shit like that. They brought LeBron there, but LeBron, you know, you never know. Like, it's like me playing with these little dudes right now. With these, you know, I ain't gonna call them little kids, but you know, they in their early 20s and shit like that. And you know, if you had a day in your game or whatever, when you got a hot streak or something like that, then everybody will just back down and just let you do what you want to do because they don't want to be embarrassed or they don't want to fuck up or something like that. But that's when you start getting pissed off. That's when you like, well, I got to do all this myself. Then of course we're gonna lose. Of course we're gonna lose. If I got to do everything myself, we're gonna lose. It doesn't matter how good I am, we're still gonna lose. And I think that's what LeBron, maybe, I don't know, maybe that was his personal choice. Like, I need to be around people who also want to win just as bad as I do. Like, if you see the passion between the Warriors and shit, like when Draymond Green steps up, or whoever's just was on that squad, like even fucking JaVale McGee. All these motherfuckers, like that would just remind me of the Nuggets and shit like that. Like when they had that squad, I thought they was gonna do something. When Carmelo Anthony, god damn, I could just tell you about all these motherfuckers that was just prospects at the time. It was just like, damn nigga, what happened to you? What the fuck is going on? You just got the money and said fuck it, or it was just like, man, these little niggas coming in, we ain't finna win no championship like that or whatever. It's like, now they didn't move to I mean, it's crazy. It's actually crazy, but I guess it's turning around because all these other players are getting old. Well, niggas is pushing like 35, 36 and shit like that. They're getting up there. This ain't the 90 something draft. You know, these motherfuckers that came in the early beginnings of the 2000s and shit like that. So these niggas is getting old too. Just like we getting old. Even compared to the motherfuckers that was getting old as old now. It's like that's how fast time is going by or whatever. But I mean, I could just dwell on this shit all goddamn night, just speaking on this mic and not even edit the shit. But I'm just speaking about it. You know, my whole point is to say that, you know, the only reason that the NBA is the way it is right now, that it's exciting, is because of LeBron James. Because before it was Jordan, when Jordan left the first time, when nobody really watching like that. I mean, people was watching still and everything. I ain't gonna lie about that, say that people wasn't watching, but it wasn't. Hey, they were still talking about Jordan. You know, his baseball career shit. Then he came back. Then he got locked again. You know, Space Jam came out and shit like that. Then he left. You know what I'm saying? After the 6th championship, then he came back just to play with the Warriors. But I mean, not the Warriors, but the Wizards. Stayed on the East Coast. He didn't go to the West Coast team. I don't know why though. I don't think Jordan cared too much for the West Coast or anything like that. But you know, like now that balance has shifted over ever since the Lakers. Like the everything is always West, one in the West now. You know, so you know you got all these players that came after, you know, Jordan, the draft and everything like that, and then you know Kobe, Jordan's out the way, so now Kobe can do his thing or whatever. Because you know, other than that, it was Allen Iverson was in there, little nigga. That's what I was talking about. That's why I favored him so much. That's why I can talk about it, because it was you know, Iverson was the little nigga, just like Tupac. I can talk about Tupac. We all little niggas. You know what I'm saying, in our statue and everything like that. But we know we got a lot of heart. We got a whole lot of motherfucking heart and everything like that. And we ain't the ones to be fucked with. You know, pretty much, you know. But and then I mean, you can talk about every position or whatever, you know. But you know, LeBron, the way that he's built and everything, it doesn't matter where he go, he gonna win something. You know, but you know, I don't think it's a surprise to everybody, because you know, when you're growing up, usually whoever you came in with, that's who you retire with. Like, you didn't go switch no teams. Now, despite all of the retiring and then coming back and all that shit, like, I'm not speaking on that, because Jordan came back and then went with the Wizards or whatever. You know, but Jordan initially retired with his team. Kobe definitely retired with his team. There's a lot of people that I think that they retired with their team. It was a long time ago. There's some people. I mean, you would think Vince Carter would have retired with the Raptors or whatever. Dirk Nowitzki. He was like another one that was always with Dallas or whatever. But now, you know, like Kevin Garnett or like Allen Iverson or whatever, they'll go back to their team and then retire. So, you know, so the shit is different now. It's different, but like these discussions always have to be like I wish I can dialogue with people. You know, that's why I can just ramble. I can just ramble and shit like that, on and on. Randall. You know, it's riddles and rants and shit. I'm just going on and on, you know. But It just shows, how much, knowledge I have about it, and, why I'm able to speak about it. But initially, I just think like if he's going to go to the West, in order for him to win a championship, he knows he has to beat Golden State in the West, because the NBA Finals will be decided on the West Coast. And if everybody stay healthy and everything, because that always comes in, always. So many teams, even NFL, so many teams that should have won, but injuries. No, you never know because it wasn't there. But there's a lot of injuries in basketball where it's like the only thing you can talk about is who's on the court. If this nigga over there in a 3-piece suit and it's like he's out for this long, you just would never fucking know. Especially if they just try to do it another year. It's like the tolerance of some of these, NBA players, it's like some of them don't like each other, some of them do, a lot of them friends, but it's like they really ain't gonna really play against each other like that. Everybody's so friendly. That's why I was saying Dwight Howard with his big goofy ass. It's like, nigga, how you that big and play in the NBA and get paid to play in the NBA? You that big and you don't have no championship. I don't want to take no picture with you. Why? But it will be decided in the West. So, we're going to see what happens. And like I said, I'm just a fan of the game. I don't have a root for anybody anymore. Like I said, if you go back to my vintage teams and shit like that, it's the Sixers and the Bulls. That's what I fuck with. Just like fucking goddamn football. The only reason I talk about Minnesota, which I might do, sometime, talk about Minnesota and Randy Moss. That's the reason why I just rode with Minnesota, because of Randy Moss. Even though Randy Moss went other places, I still fucked with them, but that was football though. Like, there's trades all the time in fucking football. Basketball is usually consistent, but anyway, like I said, again, me going off topic, just ranting and shit, going off topic. But y'all understand. The Lakers, I really don't see. I still don't see them beating Golden State with, just the squad that they have. And like I said, injury will always come into play, injuries and stuff like that. So I really don't know. But I'm waiting to see though. I am waiting to see. So if y'all like basketball or anything, just go ahead and let me know what y'all think. I probably already know what you're gonna say. This nigga just be switching teams and shit like it's nothing. It's a different type of era where it's like a bunch of dudes can go to a team who have star potential, and then they become stars. That's what happened with Golden State, because Golden State wasn't always that good with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and shit like that. They were good, but it wasn't like that until they got all the pieces together. And of course, Durant just adds insult to injury. You know what I'm saying? So, but it just makes me think about, like I said, the Thunder and shit like that. I thought it was gonna be the Rockets and the Celtics this year. That's what I thought it was gonna be. I was like, they're actually gonna switch it up this year. It's gonna be the Rockets and the Celtics. Nope. When's it going down? Injuries, shit like that. Niggas just giving up or whatever. Game 7, all types of shit. But like I said, y'all, I could go on and on and on. I just wanted to put it out there and get it out my mind while I still could. Peace.